Florida mother ends up having to face a judge while she is in labor because she refused a C-section. So what does the judge do? He tries to force her to get one.
I'm trying to understand how you are taking my rights away as a patient to be able to decide my own care.
The labor pains Sharice Doyley felt in September 2024 were familiar.
Well, nothing's been decided yet.
Yet the virtual courtroom she wound up in was anything but.
Nah, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Video obtained by NBC News shows the 32-year-old black woman in her hospital bed pulled into a virtual emergency court hearing as Florida state attorneys on behalf of the hospital sought a court-ordered C-section.
The state of Florida has filed a petition for declaratory judgment.
After 3 prior C-sections, Doyley, who is a birthing doula, hoped her 4th delivery would be a VBAC, or vaginal birth after C-section.
Well, my previous C-section experiences were less than ideal, specifically the recovery portion.
According to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, a VBAC can be attempted in a hospital under close monitoring after 2 C-sections, but guidance is limited after 3 surgeries.
Were you considered high risk?
I had a very normal low-risk pregnancy.
According to court transcripts and video reviewed by NBC News, Doyley arrived at University of Florida Health Hospital in downtown Jacksonville via ambulance around 2 a.m. Doyley says that after nearly 12 hours of labor with no prior warning, a nurse handed her a tablet and told her she was now facing a circuit court judge, Michael Khalil.
Good afternoon.
Whoa. So I'm assuming they're doing this for the safety of the child and for her herself. I'm assuming that they don't think that she can make the correct decision, because ultimately it's up to her. At least that's my assumption. It's up to her to choose what to do with her body. So that's what I'm assuming. But I didn't know a judge can come in there and stop a woman from either choosing C-section or not. Now, I'm assuming it's only because of the risk factor. But let's keep going into this.
During the hearing, attending physician Dr. Erin Burnett testified in part that Doyley had ruptured membranes and was not showing progress. Her cervical dilation had stalled. Her contractions were, quote, spacing out, and fetal heart racing is looking worse. But when asked directly by the judge, Dr. Burnett says that she does not believe Doyley or her baby are in immediate danger.
Nobody is here to speak for me.
When Doyley asks if she can call a lawyer or a patient advocate, the judge says
there's not a constitutional right to counsel in one of these proceedings.
First reported by ProPublica, the exchange has since gone viral, reigniting national debate over fetal rights and maternal autonomy as federal abortion rights have dissipated in the post-Dobbs era. According to Pregnancy Justice, which has also represented Doyley, at least 17 states recognize, quote, fetal rights either by law or judicial decision.
In a post-Dobbs world, states do not have to defer to the rights, the interests, the desires of pregnant folks.
Kiara Bridges is a professor of law at UC Berkeley.
States are much more inclined to be punitive towards those who might be demonstrating a willingness to deprioritize the health and life of the fetus over the health and life of the pregnant person.
While court-mandated C-sections are extremely rare, according to ProPublica's analysis, they can happen anywhere courts interpret fetal rights as overriding maternal autonomy. In Doyley's case, the judge approved an emergency C-section as deemed necessary by the attending physician. Doyley says her baby was delivered by emergency C-section around 3 a.m. after medical staff said her daughter's heart rate dropped.
If there were any indications that your child was in distress or that you were at risk, would you have accepted a C-section?
Absolutely. And, I even conveyed that to the judge. I did tell them that, if it gets to the point that we have to make a decision between my life and the baby's life, that I need to live. I have children in the world that need me.
NBC News reached out to the hospital and Dr. Burnett for comment, but a spokesperson for the hospital declined, citing patient privacy.
This is a more than just a misunderstanding between a patient and provider. and ultimately an extreme abuse of power and government overreach on a mentally competent woman's bodily autonomy during labor. Honestly, it's alarming.
Zincle Asamoah, NBC News.
This is a wild story. Now, so in a post world where abortions aren't federally backed by the government, if the hospital or the government or the city government feels that you aren't taking priority for making sure that the baby is born healthy, or a baby is born the way they want them or suggest, you could be forced to follow their rules. Now, is that right or is that wrong? Let's go over to some AI breakdown just to go more into this topic. Absolutely crazy. Let's jump over into it. So, as we know, in September 2024, a Jacksonville mother and professional birthing doula was forced to attend an emergency virtual court hearing from the hospital bed while in active labor at the University of Florida Health Jacksonville. The hospital sought court order to force her to do a C-section after she refused procedure, preferring to attempt the vaginal birth after 3 prior C-sections. While in the 12th hour of labor of contractions, the hospital staff wheeled in a tablet into her room for a Zoom hearing. So Dolly was forced to argue for her own medical autonomy without a lawyer or a patient advocate present. That's crazy. That's the craziest part. So he said, so in these situations, we don't have to provide you with one. That's basically what he said. The Florida Assistant State Attorney argued that the state had a compelling interest in preserving the life of the unborn child, citing a risk to urinary rupture. So the judge ultimately ruled that while she could continue laboring, doctors were authorized to perform a C-section without her consent in the event of an emergency. So, okay, remember now, she said that if something would have happened, or said it was medically necessary, she would have did it. But it wasn't no choice anymore. I'm assuming that's the problem with it. It wasn't no choice. Because at the end of the time, it sounded like the doctor said the heartbeat got very low. So hours after hearing it, the baby heart reportedly dropped, and she was taken into surgery for a C-section she had tried to avoid. Dolly described the experience as the most dehumanizing, scary experience of her life, and has spoken out about the trauma being strong-armed into a medical procedure. Her case, along with that of Brianna Bennett, another Black woman in Florida who faced a similar court-ordered C-section, has sparked national debate over maternal bodily autonomy, fetal personhood, and racial disparities in the medical care. Now, do you think this is a racial disparity case? Did they only do this because she was a Black mother? Or did they truly fear that she wasn't making the right choices? Because that's what I'm thinking. But now, if that's right or wrong, that's up for you to decide. But was this a race thing? So the practice is not isolated. Investigations reveal a pattern in Florida where legal systems override the medical decisions of pregnant women and vulnerable. Unique to pregnancy in the state law frame, groups like Pregnancy Justice are now petitioning hospitals to end the practice of seeking court intervention to force medical procedures on laboring patients. It's a wild world we live in, y'all. But let me know your thoughts on that situation. Do you think it was something racist, or is it just they want to make the best decisions for the child? But in turns for that might step on some of the parents' rights. Is that good or bad? At what point is the needs of the child taken more into account? Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you've experienced anything like this. or you felt like you have. It's a crazy world we live in, y'all. Let me know your thoughts.